And the bottom line is, it's not going to be good. Hello car friends, today we're going to be talking about this car, the Porsche 981 Cayman GTS, giving you a little bit of an insight into what it's actually like to live with in winter. And the bottom line is, it's not going to be good. I should probably start off by saying that I absolutely love this car. I love the spec, I love what you get for the value for money, I love the way it looks, I love the way it drives, I love everything about this car. I'm not sitting here pretending that I'm in a bad car by any means, but there are a few things that you should be aware about if you're planning to drive your 981 Cayman GTS in winter. Now, I've had this car for a number of thousand miles now. I've driven it a long distance. I've taken it all the way to the south of France. I've taken it around the UK. I've driven it, okay? It's not like I've put this in a garage and pretended it's not there. But what I would say is in winter, it's a completely different beast. So number one on most people's list is, why is my Porsche, or the Porsche you're just about to drive or driving right now, doing this like juddering noise every time you turn the wheel in cold weather at slow speeds? I don't know exactly the details, I'm not an engineer, but it's called the Ackerman effect. That's what the Ackerman effect, Ackerman, A-C-K-E-R-M-A-N. I don't know what that's meant to be. It's just something to do with the proportions. That is essentially what is causing the car to like make that juddering noise, and it's horrible. People look at you in car parks, people think, oh, there's a problem with that car. I thought there's a problem with the car when I first got it, but it's a known Cayman issue, okay? It's kind of made worse in the 981 GTS because you get these 20-inch tyres, the 20-inch rims that you get on the 981 GTS. Because of that, it just makes the situation a whole lot worse. That noise is not going to go away, and it gets particularly bad the colder it gets because it's basically the tyres on the front struggling for a little bit of grip. Now, the second thing I'd probably raise, and this is not a big problem, doesn't really affect my day-to-day, on a Cayman and the kind of the engine that they use, it's the same with a Boxster. You generally have a lot of time before the car warms up, so you want to be going about 30 minutes or about 3 miles. You're probably going to do more than 3 miles in 30 minutes unless you're absolutely crawling. Yeah, I'm going to redo that one again. So you're probably going to have to drive for about 30 minutes, or you're probably going to go 5-7 miles before the car really starts to get to an okay temperature. In the UK, on the Porsche sort of dials, you can see that the car temperature, the oil temperature's got to get to around 72, 74 before it starts to kind of get comfortable. I think, and don't quote me on this, but from what I can see, the car kind of limits the performance and protects itself during that time. So you don't have to worry too much, you just have to take it a little bit easier, and the car will warm up and then it'll be fine after that point. But there is a little bit of a lag between starting the car, getting in, waiting for the revs to sit down, then driving 30 minutes before you can actually use the car in the way that you might want. That said, it's winter. Especially in the UK, the roads are slippy. What are you going to do with the performance in the winter? I don't know. Really, it's just about having that peace of mind that your engine's warm, and it takes a little bit longer than most cars. And using that power in winter is something that I want to talk a little bit more about. So, at the age of 25, I wrote off a Cayman. It wasn't the Cayman GTS, but it was a Cayman nonetheless, and I completely wrote it off on my own, on a single country lane with a tree. Yeah, it wasn't my finest moment. But that said, the car really is known for understeering in the Cayman anyway. If anything, it's pretty much perfectly balanced, but if anything, it's going to have a little bit of understeer. In the winter, it's got a tendency to get pulled into curves in the road. It's got curves in the road, what I'm looking for, camber. It's got a tendency to pull into like camber in the road. If the car's not really warm, the tyres aren't warm, and all the rest of it, it doesn't feel that stable. And I've never really pushed it in winter, and I don't honestly feel comfortable doing it, especially after the fact that I wrote the last one off. Even at slow speeds or relative speeds, the Cayman GTS doesn't feel that comfortable to drive in winter. It feels a little bit twitchy, it feels a little bit like there's a huge amount of power, and just not balancing that correctly could get you into trouble. Any large performance car is going to have that issue, but I feel it particularly in the Cayman GTS, so something to be aware of. Finally, I've got one other thing. This could be really niche, by the way. I don't know whether any other Cayman owners have experienced this. If the heating is on and it's blowing through, and it's blowing through warm air, all fine, and I turn quite sharply or I accelerate quite quickly, the air becomes ice cold and it pushes through ice cold air. Now, I don't know engineering wise why that happens. I don't know whether it's an issue that other people have or it's just specific to mine, but it's something that I have found, and especially if you're on a roundabout, it's a set of roundabouts, it does start to become quite cold as it's pushing cold air onto you when the temperatures outside are 1-2 degrees. So tiny problem, I wouldn't sell the car because of it, but it is something that I've noticed. So that's some of the negatives, but I just want to give you some of the positives because it's not all bad. The car starts every time. It is good for sort of dailiest driving. You can kind of get away with dailiest driving to it. It is also quite good in winter if you've got a lot of stuff, you've got a lot of luggage, or you're going on a long trip. The amount of storage capacity in the 981 Cayman is spot on. I can't fault that in any way, so it is good for those kind of trips, especially if you've got extra coats or those kind of things. It's going to handle all that, you don't have to worry. The other thing that I would say about it is a comfortable car, even in winter. You know, after 30 minutes it does warm up, it's fine. Heated seats, so good, I would recommend. And overall the car actually is lovely, it's fine, especially when you look at other things on the market. You know, I compare this car often to the Alfa Romeo 4C. That hasn't got some of the luxuries that you might expect, so in winter it's going to be a different car altogether. You're probably not going to get that out of the garage at all, well, at least with the Cayman you can use it. So there are some positives. I just wanted to give, you know, my reality of what it's like, especially in compared to what it would be like in summer. But would love to know what you think, so let me know in the comments. I want to create a discussion down there. I want other owners and other people that are considering the 981 Cayman to have a look, see whether they get the same feel, have a sense of what are the issues, what are the things that you can get around. Just give a balanced view, just an honest view of what it's actually like to really own and live with a Cayman, especially the Cayman GTS. I'm filming something on what it's like to drive in winter. Yeah, because it's a different car in winter. The car's stationary, it's parked, the keys aren't even in the ignition. I've literally just got a camera in front of me, so don't come for me. Alright mate, see you in a bit. Bye bye, bye. Sorry about that. So there you go, that's a whistle stop tour of the 981 Cayman GTS in winter and what it's like to drive with. Pretty reliable, different beast. Would I recommend it? Probably not. Up to you to make your own decision. But I'd love to know in the comments what you think. I'd love to hear what your experiences are, and I'd love to know what your thoughts are. If you have got some other experiences, if you're in a different country and actually it's different for you, if there's some things that you wish you'd have known before that you don't know now. I don't think that there's a lot of content on the 981 Cayman GTS, so my goal is really to make more, to sort of talk about what it's like to own, live with and spec one of these cars. If you like this video, give it a like, follow for more. No, that's a TikTok sign off. Give it a like, and 3 years, still not got it. Why can't you do this? I've done this like hundreds of times. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe if you want some more, click the little bell icon. You know what to do. I'm done with this outro. Thanks, see you next time. Bye bye. With that outro, I wouldn't even subscribe to me. That was so bad. Yeah, you might make the cut. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. It depends if I have to pad the video out. Have you subscribed? Have you clicked the little bell? Ding! You know, the little one that gives you the notifications of when videos are landed. Like, share and subscribe, you got it.